First of all, I'd like to acknowledge the territories of the Coast Salish, especially the Songhees and Esquimalt First Nations. We thank them for sharing this beautiful land with us. My name is Henry Chips. I'm the elder from Chiana, Beecher Bay.
Awesome. Haiska, brother. Haiska Sam. Siam Charlotte Siam Salikas. Haiskan Sap Siam. Haiskan Sap Newsflash Sap Siam. Sitiluk Mana of Kolshimat. Mana of Solachia. Just spoken my language, which is customary in our cultures. We start out in our languages. And thanking each and every one of you for being here and for allowing us to be here with you. My real name is Sitiluk. The English words, the government knows me as Raymond J. Peter. School District 62 knows me as Brother Rick. And that's not from going to the church or anything. That's just as an older brother. In our cultural way, there's so many words that we use, but when we have to translate the English, we have to specific. It's easier for me to say, you are all my younger brothers and sisters here, and everybody that in the future that's going to be watching this recording. You are our younger brothers and sisters. You are our future. And what we're going to share with you today, hopefully it gives you a better understanding of a few of the things that are very sacred and important to our peoples along the West Coast and the interior and down south into the U.S.
Cedar is very important to us. We can make a lot of things from cedar. The cedar trees you see behind us, we harvest the bark. We used to harvest for our canoes. We used to be seafaring and traverse from here down to South America and trade with each other. There's a lot of things that can be made with cedar. We made totem poles with the cedar, paddles. Our Neutralis friends made cedar dresses and cedar capes out of them.
Way back in the day in our culture, our beliefs was to be able to transform into different animals. Not only the animals, but into the plants and trees. And with the cedar tree, it is that sacred to us, the cedar and the salmon. One of the stories of the salmon coming ashore from the waters, swimming onto the land and then transforming to human form. Yeah. But not only human form, but also transforming into all of the different trees around, helping Mother Nature flourish and grow the way she has grown. That sacredness to our people, our ancestors way back then, some of those teachings have been passed down to us, and we share that outwards. The importance of cedar to our people. It's not only the tree that we see above the ground, but it's the roots that are under the ground. The roots in our bigger trees, they are so strong that some of them they used for war clubs, some they used for nets, dip nets, making rope and other stronger things with the roots of our different trees. Cedar was the biggest one that they used. Not only our peoples here, like Brother said, all the way down the coast, down into California. You know, all of our nations that use the yellow cedar and the red cedar. We believe everything out here is alive. Everything. Everything has a life. Everything has a spirit. So anytime we harvest anything from Mother Nature, we are saying a prayer and making an offering. Whether it's for clothing, warmth, our buildings, any of that. We always say a prayer. We always make that offering.
When we harvest the tree, we use a rock like this. And if we hear a hollow sound, that tree's not good. It's gotten rotten in the middle. And that's not good for a canoe. What we do, let's say we're going to use this line here, we would cut to the first inner bark there, skin, and then we go all the way up as far as we can go. And we peel it.
We grab the bottom and we start peeling it up and pulling and just backing up, and as we're pulling, and depending on how our offering and our prayer to that tree There's been a few pulls where my brother has pulled up to 40 feet, just pulling
Yeah.
one strip. And the higher it gets, sometimes we have to do that whipping motion. The outer layer of bark, we peel that off, and it's the inner layer. The inner layer, that is the part that we keep. And that's the part that we use for making the different things that our people use. And that's just the bark. If we leave the bark on there, that left that way, that's what we use for our balers, our water balers and our canoes, our journey canoes.
Rick was talking about a baler. That's what a baler looks like. Paddles. Wow. This is just a small one. And you can see right there's a large one.
Inside our paddles, as you can see with this one here, it has so many different designs that are carved into it. And this is part of our cultural way of telling the stories and teaching. Each little carving inside there tells a different story, right? When they're all put together, it's telling you of different stories of what's happened. The past few years, scientists have started to realize what our ancestors did to keep records of what happened way back in the day of earthquakes and tidal waves. You know, that's inside a lot of these carvings that they've passed down through the generations. In our native cultures, it's not written down in books. It's through repetition. The stories, the teachings, the legends. Repetition, carvings, dancing, prints. That's how it's passed down to us. Pass it back to you, my brother.
And I'm just wearing some items that we used to make ties out of. Right here we got a tie too, with the crest of the family on it too. And we used to make rope out of the cedar. As you can see, it's quite strong.
And here what we have are two different types of hats, right? And you can pretty much tell just by looking at it, the width of the cedar, you know, and these are both very sacred to myself, you know, along with everything that we have on our table behind us. These have that big of a sentimental feelings and teachings inside every item that we have here and I'm sharing with you.
All the stuff I've got here is only a minute part of what I have at home, you know. I got a 4-footer of that one. That's nice, isn't it?
Some of the things that they built also back then was here, what you have here, carried the ashes of loved ones. They would put the ashes inside that and they would bury. This is, you know, there were some nations that did burn their ashes, right? They would burn them and then bury them all together. This one here, as you can see, it's not opened up through the top. It's gone through the bottom. Sunrise to the sunset. Where you're laying somebody to rest. You're always laying them. The sunrise, okay, you're gonna look, okay, which way does the sun rise? To the man, to the woman. You know, these are some of the things inside some of the carvings that our ancestors did. Our ancestors did. But our younger generation don't see that. And with what my brother and I have been sharing with everybody is the teachings that we remember. Haitsapka Siem, for sharing your time with us and allowing us to share with you just a few of our teachings, a few of the important things that really important to our peoples.
And that's why we're here. Thank you. Aichka, Klako, Masi, Gaelic,
What he said.
and good day.